The Silent Epidemic. How AI deepfakes are weaponizing school environments, a digital crisis is unfolding in classrooms across the globe. What begins as a simple download from an Instagram or Snapchat profile is being transformed into a tool for profound psychological and sexual abuse. Using nudification apps, generative AI tools designed to strip clothing from photos teenage boys are creating explicit, non-consensual imagery of their female classmates. This is not merely a case of digital pranksterism. It is a systemic wave of child sexual abuse material, CSAM, that is leaving victims traumatized and schools ill-equipped to respond. A global surge in digital abuse, while deepfake technology has existed since 2017. The recent explosion of generative AI has fundamentally changed the landscape. The barrier to entry has vanished. Anyone with a smartphone can now produce convincing, highly sexualized imagery with a few clicks. Recent investigations reveal the staggering scale of this trend. Widespread reach. An analysis by Wired and Indicator identified incidents in at least 28 countries, involving roughly 90 schools and over 600 pupils. Hidden numbers. The true scale is likely much higher. UNICEF estimates that 1.2 million children had sexual deepfakes created of them last year. Regional impact. North America has seen nearly 30 reported cases, while Europe, South America, Australia, and East Asia have all reported significant clusters of abuse. What AI changes is scale, speed, and accessibility, says Siddharth Pillai, co-founder of the RATI Foundation. The technical barrier has dropped significantly. This results in a glut of content, beyond sexual gratification. The psychology of harm, while the imagery is sexual in nature, experts argue the motivation behind these acts is often more complex than simple lust. The drivers behind this behavior include social control and humiliation, using imagery to degrade, denigrate, or exert power over peers. Revenge and peer pressure, acts of retaliation or dares within social groups. Gender dynamics, a continuation of long-standing patterns of gender-based violence facilitated by new technology. The impact on victims is devastating. Beyond the immediate humiliation, there is a persistent, lifelong fear. The knowledge that these images may eventually reach pedophiles or remain searchable on the internet forever. This has led to widespread school avoidance, severe anxiety, and deep psychological distress among students. A systemic failure in response, one of the most critical issues highlighted by this crisis is the readiness gap. Schools and law enforcement agencies are frequently caught off guard, lacking the digital forensics expertise or the policy frameworks to handle these incidents effectively. The response from authorities has been inconsistent, delayed action. Some schools have taken days to report incidents to the police. Inadequate consequences. In many cases, perpetrators face little more than school suspension, even when the content qualifies as felony-level CSAM. Teacher vulnerability. The crisis isn't limited to students. Teachers are also being targeted with explicit deepfakes, leading to staff protests and even the need for substitute teachers in some districts. The fight for accountability as institutions struggle to catch up. The impetus for change is often coming from the victims themselves. Students have led protests, walked out of classes, and even contributed to legislative milestones like the Take It Down Act, which mandates that tech platforms remove non-consensual intimate images within 48 hours. In response to the threat, some schools in Australia and South Korea have begun adopting defensive measures, such as limiting yearbook photos to side profiles or silhouettes, removing student imagery from official social media accounts, using stock photography or creative filters to protect student identities. Conclusion: the rise of AI-generated deepfakes in schools represents a new frontier of sexual abuse that outpaces current legal and educational safeguards. Addressing this crisis requires a coordinated effort to upgrade school policies, enforce stricter tech regulations, and provide immediate, specialized support for victims.